Now it looks like Razer is getting ready to disappoint fans of the Viper Mini once again. So, if you're familiar with the Viper Mini at all, you'll remember earlier this year, after much speculation and announcement, we got the Viper Mini Signature Edition, which is, an almost $300 pretty beast of a mouse, which, looks pretty great, but at $300 and limited drops, you can hardly get your hands on it. Fans of the Viper Mini were not happy with that, given that the Viper Mini kind of resembles sort of the epitome of what Razer kind of has been doing the past few years, which is sort of releasing these like really great top tier gaming mice at super competitive pricing. It's important to remember that, Razer having the best internals, and top notch, top quality sensors, and really pushing the limits as far as 4K wireless, that sort of thing. I don't think there's many people that will dispute that. The problem is usually within the price, like with the Viper Mini Signature Edition, there's very few people in the world willing to drop $300 for gaming mice if you can get it at that price these days. As you can see right now, closer to $400, really closer to $500, going off of eBay, which I still haven't gotten to be a part of the, any of the drops, any of the Razer drops. And, as I can't justify spending $500 to give to a reseller, so I'm hoping one of these days I can get my hands on one of these. But as of right now, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. But anyway, so this gets released. And people who have been waiting for a low-cost Viper Mini wireless, which over the course of 5 years, we haven't seen a single version, not one. It's not like they released it originally and we haven't seen an update. No, never have we gotten a Viper Mini wireless ever, and that has left a lot of people upset because the Viper Mini is a great mouse. Like, there's just no, there's no getting around it. Are there comparable mice? Sure. But, people are they want to use the Viper, and you would think Razer would comply to that. They said we're getting one. However, over the past few days, some stuff has started to leak that makes me feel like we're gonna be disappointed yet again. Nothing official, no sort of leaks or teasers or announcements from Razer as of yet, but a couple of posts have started to show up on Reddit. The first is the this, which I'm reading off of Tech Power Up. I want to go back to the original Reddit post because I want to make sure to credit the right people. So Shrimp over on Reddit posted this. Now this claims to be the Razer Viper V3 Hyperspeed, which is sort of the Hyperspeed. If you're not familiar, is sort of the sort of budget-friendly version of Razer's offerings. It's usually takes a battery, and it's usually sub $100 if I'm not mistaken. Razer Hyperspeed. Of course, nothing's going to show up. Yeah, so like the Basilisk X Hyperspeed is currently going for $70, and I think there's a Death Adder Hyperspeed, which you can get for like $40. So they're more budget friendly options, which is nice. Now this is not really specific to the Viper Mini, and obviously you can see on the branding, it doesn't say Viper Mini, but a lot of people with this leak were hoping that, maybe we're getting a Viper V3 Mini hyperspeed at the very least. There have been, so somebody else posted that they knew somebody who bought the mouse off of somebody on eBay. That's where this leak is coming from a post on eBay. And it is somebody after they bought it off of somebody after a CS tournament. And one of the players listed it on eBay. So it's fairly confident that this leak is real. If you followed my channel at all, you'll know I have gotten a lot of things wrong, and I've held out hope on a lot of things. But basically, I'm just not going to do that anymore, because oftentimes I'm wrong, and I end up, sort of with egg all over my face. So I'm just going to go off right from the jump and assume that all of these leaks are true. Now, in line with this Viper V3 hyperspeed. So once again, this isn't evidence of a Viper Mini hyperspeed, but people are hoping, maybe they're getting ready to release this rumored budget option of the Viper Mini. Then comes these, which is being listed as the Razer Cobra, which, just from a naming standpoint, okay. But Razer Cobra and Cobra Pro Wireless listed on Amazon Canada. New Viper Mini and Viper Mini Wireless release date is listed as June 29th, which is in a few days. So this is the wired version. Now you can tell the shape is similar to the Viper. It's got, you can see it, that RGB underglow, which the Viper Mini had, which was not something that we saw even on the original Viper Pro, or sorry, was it the Viper Pro? No, Viper Ultimate. I'm sorry, the original Viper Ultimate had just RGB in the logo in this area. So the Viper Mini was actually quite a bit different. So this is sort of going back to that original design. But you'll notice this embossing here, which is a very big departure from the original Viper Mini. And I'm not a big fan of it. Now, this is supposed to be the wireless version. I don't think we're getting pricing yet. I haven't seen anything specific. So 58 gram lightweight design. This doesn't specify if it's for the... Okay, yeah, so all right. Razer Cobra, customizable gaming mouse. Razer optical Gen 3 switches, 8500 DPI. So nothing crazy, but a lot of people are assuming that this Razer Cobra is sort of the step up, or, sort of a remake of the Viper Mini, which I guess makes sense, because as I mentioned, the Viper Mini really doesn't share a ton. The shapes are similar. The Viper Mini and the Viper, the shapes are similar, but there is quite a bit difference in the shape. So it sort of makes sense that they're going for a branding change, but it's pretty upsetting that we're not getting just a straight up Viper Mini, taking the Viper Mini and making it wireless. Like that's literally what people want. I've said it in like 3 other videos, and this is not that. This is very far from that. In fact, the original Viper Mini didn't have grips, and this one now does. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm hopeful. So we don't know, because we have the wireless or the wired version's weight coming in at 58 grams. We don't have the wireless version, what the weight's going to come in at, but obviously I'm assuming it's going to be heavier than 58 grams, which is not going to make a lot of people happy, because these days, 60-gram mouse is very not competitive. What's the original Viper Mini? Original weight. Yeah, no, that's. I typed original Viper Mini. Google, come on, guys. 61 grams. So, assuming the wired, is at 58 grams, a 3-gram weight reduction is not good. I get not wanting to cut too much, but the Viper V2 is at 55 grams, which I think is a pretty good weight to shoot for. Between 50, 55 grams. That's like a really nice weight to shoot for. And you want to put the RGB on the bottom. Okay, fine. But then they add stuff which I don't understand that at all. The Viper V2 is like such a killer design, like such an ultimate final form from the original Viper, and getting the addition of the grips in the box that you can use if you want, but dude, the Viper is just so sick. The Viper V2 is just a sick looking mouse, and I'm a fan of the signature edition look too. It's just I don't have one of those to show off right now, so I have to assume that Viper Mini fans are going to be upset. Oh, here we go. Oh, this might tell us the weight. Up to 170-hour battery life and versatile connectivity, up to 100 hours on hyperspeed or 170 hours. So at least it's getting 4K, the option for the 4K dongle, it sounds like, which is cool. 58. So I wonder, because these two pages seem like one is referring to the wired and the other one is referring to the wireless, but I can't say for sure. It's hard to tell. So yeah, see, 58-gram lightweight design built to fit most grip styles, precise control, Gen 3 optical switches, chroma with gradient underglow, precise sensor adjustments. Speed flex cable provides greater flexibility and is designed to produce minimal drag. So this leads me to believe they're referring to the wired version. Cobra's mouse feet on the front and rear. Hyperspeed wireless. Yeah. But we don't have the box, so we don't have all of the information here, but the saving grace here, or the only potential saving grace, is that we're going to get a Razer Cobra Pro of some version, and it'll be sort of similar to this. I don't hate, like I mentioned, I don't hate the idea of differentiating the Viper and the Viper Mini, given that they are pretty different shapes, and that they kind of are. They kind of cater to different aspects, but the problem there is then you start saying that. When you start saying that, then it starts becoming harder to justify something like a Viper Mini Pro, and then also it doesn't make sense when you realize they just released the Viper Mini Signature Edition. So why would they change the branding now after releasing that? You know what I mean? Like, I just talked myself out of it, right? Because like a minute ago, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, cool, makes sense, and you know if they want to do that, all right. But then realizing just a few months ago, they released the Viper Mini Signature Edition. People were upset, and they said, don't you worry, guys, we got a Viper Mini wireless coming. And then this gets leaked, and it probably means, you know, we're not getting the Viper Mini wireless that everybody wants, which is, again, the Viper Mini. You just chop that wire off. Snip, 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 snip. Done. Cut some weight, you know. Toss in a hyperpolling dongle, get us 4K wireless. Boom, boom. Slap a price tag of $150. I know people are going to be upset about that, but at this point, right, we got to start making concessions because Razer's not giving it to us. They won't give it to us. So it's like, dude, okay, look, we all don't want to pay $300 for a Viper Mini. We'll pay $150 for a Viper Mini wireless. Okay, Razer? We'll meet you. We'll meet you at the price point you want to set and give us the Viper Mini wireless. I'm assuming that this Cobra wireless is probably going to be at that $150. This reminds me of like the Mamba. This reminds me of old Razer, which I don't like. You know, Razer for the longest time, I've always been a fan of Razer. You know, I had the Boom Slang, I had the Diamondback. I've had not all of Razer's mice, but I've been a fan of theirs literally since the inception. But the past 5 or 6 years, I have been thrilled with the direction Razer was taking with, you know, the Viper Ultimate. They were starting to sort of mature up their designs and sort of offer, you know, just more subtle, offerings like with the Viper V2. Again, I'm going to mention it again because of how much I love this mouse and how much I love the Viper Mini. And even the Viper Mini Signature Edition, you know, it's definitely got a, looks like the Lamborghini of gaming mice, but the design is subtle, as subtle as it can be. And this, I feel like, is going back to like the days of the Razer Mamba, whose wireless was pretty cruddy at best. So, I'm hoping. I said this about the Signature Edition, and I was wrong. But I'm holding out hope that this is just like a brand new shape or something. I don't know how that could be true, but or it's the Viper Mini shape, and they're also giving us a Viper Mini Pro, which is more in line with this. So the wired version will be $70 because that's what they're releasing wired mice for these days. This Cobra wireless with the RGB and all this stuff, it's probably got dock support. Maybe it's got dock support. That's $100. And then the Viper Mini V2 Pro, Viper Mini Pro, is $150, and it gives us throw a hyperpolling dongle in there. Razer, come on. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I know it's stupid, but, you know, I'm going to hold out hope. And I understand those of you out there that want the Viper Mini wireless probably won't come with me on that ride, and I understand. And that's okay. Shout out to Jaku for posting this stuff and letting me, just hijack it here a little bit. A shout out to Was it posted on Reddit? Oh, I lost it. I credited them earlier, but you know, here we go. This one. Shrimp. Shout out to Shrimp. And until these get released, we got a few days. You know, I'll likely be picking one up for review. I'm hoping one of these days I can get my hands on a Viper Signature Edition. But if I do, I'm gonna have to be a part of the drops because I can't shell out $500 for a gaming mouse, especially when I've got the Final Mouse Ultralight X's coming in the near future. So at this point, to review the Signature Edition is kind of silly, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't want one in my collection. But you know, it is what it is. So stay tuned. I do have a review of this bad boy. You know, speaking of good things that Razer's done, the Razer Atlas glass pad. I'll have a review of that coming out in the next couple of days, so stay tuned for that. If you're not subscribed, click that subscribe button. If you're mad at me or you think I'm stupid for holding out hope for Razer to give us what we want, go ahead, leave that comment, and we can argue about, you know, whether or not Razer is the greatest gaming peripheral company in the market, and I will catch you guys in the next one.